Hello, guys. Sorry about for those who watched first stream. I apologize. There was some lag issues. I had to restart. So I'm just um Godzilla King of the Monsters movie we're talking about today. We're doing this live stream because I want to talk with you guys about movies and this more in action, and plus it would be an easier way to do these videos with and eliminate more of the middleman. And I'm sorry this video is coming out later. I saw this quite a while ago. It's just been busy for me. So let's talk a little bit about the movie. The movie was released this year in 2019. It's rated PG-13 and it's 2 hours and 12 minutes long. It movie has 6.6 out of 10 on IMDb with about 49,000 ish user votes, and it has 48% on Metacritic, about 46 critics. It stars Kyle Chandler, who was in Argo, and Millie Bobby Brown, who was in. It was directed by Michael Dor, if I remember mispronounced the name, who also did the horror movie Trick or Treat. I'm reading from here, of course, my notes. And the movie on Rotten Tomatoes has 41% by critics with 308 critics, and 83% by audiences without 41,000-ish audience people. The critics' consensus on Rotten Tomatoes is that Godzilla, King of the Monsters, delivers spectacular kaiju action and reaffirms that cutting-edge effects are still no substitute for a good story. And hold on. And I'm sorry if this information is repetitive from the first video. I'm deleting the first one because that one had lag issues. I redid some internet stuff, so this should be better. First, I'm gonna just talk about First, let's talk about my overall thoughts on it. I did see the first Godzilla movie along with this one, and overall, the first one I think overall on a technical level is better, but I think when it comes to like pure Godzilla awesomeness, I think this one's better. And Kong Skull Island is the best of the monster universe that whoever that's being created. And I've been told it's running okay, good. And I'm sorry, Rolando, that I'm still curious about what your favorite movie is. And yeah, and I love them all. Kong Skull Island's my favorite, though I didn't see that one in theaters. Got the two Godzilla movies I have, and I will say the biggest issue, with the first one that they corrected in this is the use of monsters. The use of monsters is much better in this one. And I will start off by first saying let's start with writing. The writing in this is up and down. I love because it reminds me a lot of the dialogue itself is the problem when it comes to the writing. Everything else is fine for Godzilla. It showcases the monster fights, which are awesome, and that's what's needed. The dialogue itself is very Independence Day-ish, and that's kind of where there's some moments where it's like, although I will say Independence Day did have probably a few better lines than this, in all fairness. But there are characters that get designated to exposition chatter, and I don't care for that. I saw and I'm like, okay. Now, granted, I haven't seen the original Godzilla movie, so I don't know if this keeps in line with it in a cheese factor, but if it is cheesy in this, it's accidental cheese. I don't think it was done right if that was the point of it, personally. And there is some humor. It's okay. Acting, it's much better, much more known cast. They have so many recognizable faces in this movie. I kind of love that a lot. The first movie, I think, was written better, but I think first off, they only had Bryan Cranston and Aaron Taylor Johnson, and they have another big character kind of die partway through the movie, but it's done much better, and it's not done much better, but also kind of feels like a worthy death for the character, even though he's probably one of the favorite characters so far in these films. And yeah, that's the biggest problem with the first Godzilla movie. They kill off the big name guy half through, and it pissed me off then, and it still kind of makes me angry now. I haven't seen the movie since theaters, but I should watch it again because I did like it overall. In terms of showing off the monsters, the first movie did a fine job with it, but first off, so much of it takes place at night, so it hides some stuff, and they keep cutting away from the monster fights, which I got annoying. And this one, they don't make that mistake, at least not super often. There's a lot more monsters. There's a lot more fights. The cinematography for the monster fights and everything is so much better in this one. Use of lighting, special effects, the color schemes for the monsters, it's genius. And the special effects for the monsters fantastic too. And I will say the characters. I'm sorry, I kind of rambling on. All right, so let's the writing for the fights and everything's good. The acting, the actors, it's a much more well-rounded cast, and it's a better cast. And the monster fights are great. The special effects are fantastic. The monsters look amazing. The cinematography, the lighting, everything's great, except for a couple things. One, why does it still take place at fucking night? I mean, show some daylight shit. And I want to see. And two, they still every once in a while they'll still cut away a little bit, and I still get. And for a moment, I think it got too cutaway ish. It stopped. It went back to the monster. So it was getting better, but I'm like, why do you keep fucking cutting away? Focus on the monsters. I don't give a shit about the human characters. And that's the thing. I don't know why these movies think the human characters are so fucking important, because they're really not. I mean, if a story is done right, they can be very compelling with something like this. But the issue I have with this is that it seems like there's so many fucking human characters, like a gajillion of them. It's like, we don't need the Independence Day ensemble for Godzilla. I mean, let the monsters tell the story themselves. We go there to see the monsters. I mean, imagine if a majority of the movies focused on the monsters and the cinematography and the fights and everything. It would be glorious. I mean, sure, you still need your human characters, but they don't need that much focus. You don't need that many characters in general. I mean, God, they almost waste Millie Bobby Brown in this. In all honesty, they almost waste her a little bit. I mean, she's a good focus of the movie, but there's too many side characters. But the characters for the most part are decent. I do remember them, but in all honesty, that's not due to the writing at all. That's due to the actors themselves, and that's the biggest weakness of the movie itself is the writing. Corey said the movie made me weep. They had good moments, actually. There was some of the monster moments were just glorious. I mean, anything surrounding the monsters was just a 5-star movie for me. The human characters bumped it down. I'm not saying the writing was atrocious or anything like that, because it wasn't. I've seen much worse written movies than this movie. But to say that the story was pitch perfect in this, the story wasn't terrible. It's the dialogue, mainly exposition, that really dragged the film down. And in all honesty, while the focus on the human characters wasn't horrendous, I mean, the first movie was kind of horrendous. So it flirted more with being horrendous. But this one was a little bit better, but a lot more exposition, and not done really well. It's kind of spread out. There's one moment where it feels like almost like a montage of characters giving off exposition, and I'm just like, God, this is so unnecessary. Can we please stop this? Can I fast forward, or can we edit this out? I mean, God, movie's 2 hours and 12 minutes long. Oh yeah, Mothra. Mothra is in this movie, and she is fucking gorgeous. The way they do her is just amazing. All the monsters in this movie are done gorgeous. In all honesty, like each monster has kind of a color palette, especially the main ones that they kind of follow with their attacks. Like Godzilla's kind of blue. Ghidorah or Monster Zero, he's yellow. Mothra, I forgot what color Mothra was. Rodan was red. And there were some more monsters that don't get a ton of focus. They're kind of, we see glimpses of them through like monitors and everything like that, but they're not in it a lot. Orlando, how do you like How do you like in the city of Detroit, Michigan? Orlando ask. I like it. I don't live there. I've been there a few times for sports games and all that. It's a pretty good city. Of course, I'm being biased because I am from Michigan. Um, but yeah, the monsters themselves are done spectacularly. Special effects are fantastic too. With that, yeah, I love sports too, Orlando. And what was that favorite movie you were going to tell me about, Orlando? I am curious on that. And yeah, I think, and yeah, the cinematography is just great in this movie overall. And that's I just love visually. This movie was a treat. But yeah, like I said, I mean, I know a lot about the Godzilla mythos to a certain degree, but I watched the movie, so I can't say how well this translates the movies. But I will say I am digging what they're doing with it. I think overall, when it comes to the focus on the monsters, this movie did a better job. But at the expense of the dialogue wasn't as good as this movie, in all honesty, based on my memory. The story, when it comes to the human characters, I don't think it's as well done. Acting, they got a better cast of actors, and they got and I do like that the more focus on the monsters and the monster fights. However, the monster fights, there's two weaknesses. I'm sorry if in case I'm repeating myself. I'll make it quick. One, too much dark. The first one had all night. This one does a better job because even though a lot of the fights are at night, because of the cinematography, because of the use of the colors and the lighting, you see them a lot better, even though they technically take place at night. And two, they keep cutting away to fucking humans. Like a monster fight's going, cuts away a little, and it's just when you think they're gone, they come back to the humans. They cut away to Corey said, sports suck minus football. Not everyone can get into them. I have a well balanced love of everything, so there's not really a lot of things I'm like bleh with. I mean, if you list a gajillion things, I'll probably find a few, but yeah, I like lots of sports. Oh, Orlando likes Disney Sins 2 and Disney Descendants 3, and even Attila Battle Angel. This third movie of Disney Descendants 3 is coming this August. Huh. So you love Descendants. I never got into Descendants. The Disney stuff nowadays is a little beyond me at this point in my life. When I was younger, I was really into them. I heard Attila Battle Angel did well. I didn't see it. I kind of skipped that. The trailers, in all honesty, didn't really grab me. Apparently, the movie apparently that's kind of the gist, that the trailers didn't show off the movie as well as they should have. So I may watch it one day in the future if I get enough pull to it. But yeah, overall, I say this movie's fantastic. If it's still in theaters, check it out. I don't know what else I can say about it. Basically, acting plus writing, cinematography. Cinematography is kind of overall, it's good. It can be better. There can be some minor fixes, but it's much better than the first Godzilla movie. Kong Skull Island overall is the best one so far because it takes place in the day. The cinematography is fantastic. The writing in it's great. The direction's great. The direction in this, it's pretty good. Like I said, too much focus on the human characters, and not even like I'm not against the focus on the human characters as much as just there's too many human characters, and the ones they do get rid of, I don't know if I like that they got rid of them. And yeah, I would say definitely check it out. I think there was a post credits scene, but we didn't stay to see it. They're definitely doing a Kong versus Godzilla movie, which I'm looking forward to, and I pray to God that they make the improvements they need to, because I think overall, I think why this movie probably scored lower with critics than, because here's the thing, I think the original Godzilla scored better with critics, but this one scored better with audiences. So you can tell the first movie had a better overall written story with dialogue and shit, but this movie I think did improved in every other area, personally. But that writing, the exposition really kind of hurts the film a little bit. And I feel like there's certain areas of the film where I think involving the human characters, I think you could have cut out and would have been fine. Now, granted, I say improve the writing, focus on the best human characters. Don't do an Independence Day ensemble. You don't need that. Keep it limited and keep the focus on the monsters and the monster fights and their story. Because overall, when we go to see a Godzilla movie, we go to see Godzilla and the monsters. We don't really go to see all these human characters. Because even though it's important to have human characters in something like this, we don't need that many. I mean, the first movie did a good job of limiting it, in my opinion, from my memory, to a few human characters, which I think that did good, even though they keep cutting away from the monster fights, and monster fights they save in that movie till the closer to the end. So that's kind of my main issues with that one, and that's why this film's better. Um, I will say, yeah, overall, I love this film a lot. I would definitely watch it again. The dialogue itself isn't horrendous. It's only exposition. Like, the actors do such a great job in this movie. It's a great cast, but the dialogue and the story surrounding the human characters, I'm not a nitpicker, but I feel like if you really went to town on this, you probably could find a lot of things you don't like. Oh, Rolando asked, so how's your hard drive? And you got my request for MLB 2000? Yeah, actually, I just finished up 2K4 football, and that's the next time I get a chance to do a video, I'm gonna do that. And my hard drive's fine. It's kind of is what it is now. I just gotta find a new video editing program. Right now, the one on YouTube will suffice, but that's kind of the goal. And if you notice new clip art on channel, all my shows are going to be getting new clip arts. Some clip art salvageable, like Mike's clip arts but a lot of it has to change because my photo editing thing is a little different, so it doesn't quite match up. It's just too complicated process to save the old clip art when I can just make new clip art anyway, especially from photos offline. Yeah, overall I do like this movie a lot, and I think it's a good addition. Is it the weakest of the three? That's hard choice. I think overall Kong Skull Island's the best. I would say, I would have to rewatch the first Godzilla movie. I think overall, the first Godzilla movie did a better job of meshing the human characters with the monsters. But I think this movie did a better job of just monster stuff in general, by far. I think what happened was, because I don't think the guy who directed this did the first Godzilla movie. I think what happened was when Kong Skull Island came out, and that was around the same, probably I think a bit more successful. They realized, okay, we found the cinematography in this, a lot of elements I feel like I saw on Kong Skull Island, and I feel like, okay, they're taking their influences from Kong Skull Island and they're integrating it, and it works. So in my opinion, if going forward they should do that, because they're blending in the worlds, which is great. The first Godzilla movie, I feel like, it has a different style and tone to it. I feel like that movie was a bit more serious, and I feel like that one was a bit more. Oh, Orlando said, "Thank you, Finn. And by the way, you should subscribe Disney Descendants on YouTube, and you'll see the action." Okay, I'll look for that after the stream, and yeah, I think overall it's a good movie, very solid. I don't know about 4 because the story with the humans could be better. It's not terrible, but could be better. And the dialogue ranges from decent to exposition. Ugh. Um, and yeah, it's I do like this movie a lot, and we're getting to 20 minutes, and and that's all I can really say about it. I say check if it's still in theaters, check it out. Like I said, I apologize this movie's coming out so late. The next movie theater reviews will be the Spider-Man Far From Home movie pretty soon. Maybe I'm not gonna make any promises on that. And and yeah, this is good. I'd say overall, based on my memory, I think both these movies both Godzilla movies did make an impact on me. I think overall, think this movie had more memorable moments, but I think if I was gonna pick which movie overall was better technically on every single level, not just the monster cinematography, I would say probably I, the fir- this movie did a better job with the monsters and all that, everything surrounding monsters. But I say a movie that did a good job balancing everything, probably the first one. But in all honesty, it's been so long since I watched the first one. I gotta watch it again. I mean, it's been 5 years actually, so I should watch the first Godzilla movie again. Um, yeah, 5 years between sequels. That's quite a stretch there. Okay. So when is the next live stream? Friend Rolando asked. I'm gonna say tomorrow. I That's a guess. I don't know if I'll do another movie theory review thing tomorrow. I may wait a day or two for that, but if you're interested in knowing more quickly, you should sign up on our Discord channel. Me and Mike I started that, so me and Mike can talk to people more fluidly. Because while we love chatting through YouTube, sometimes getting to the comments and everything, you have to go through a few clicks. Discord, it has more of a fluidness to it that I like, and we can do updates to it much better without posting it in a specific video. And with Discord, it's more general. So yeah. I'll say for sure. I say it may happen tomorrow, but I'm not gonna make guarantees. But it will happen soon. Corey wants us to live stream Simpsons. Live streaming video games. That's a whole beast there that I don't that require a bit of digging. In all honesty, if I really want to, I could just turn the camera on, point it at the TV, and there's our live stream. But I don't know if I want to do that right away. I feel like we could test a video with that, but I feel like I don't know. Something tells me that may be a bit too. I don't know. We'll have to test it out. But but yeah, I think I've been rambling on this video too long. Okay, overall, great movie. Check it out. If you haven't seen the other two, I suggest watching those two first because they do connect. The Godzilla and Kong Skull Island before you watch this one, especially Godzilla. Um, but yeah, I think this movie overall, I think it did address the issues of the first movie, but at the cost of a few of the at a little bit of the cost of the positives of the first movie. So I think the first Godzilla movie overall is more well rounded, but I think this one gives more what people want and does a great job of it. So yeah, yeah. So if you're interested in chatting more about it, join the Discord. We'll talk more about Godzilla. Anyone who's interested, and if you leave a comment on this video, and uh, and yeah, I apologize for the first video on the hiccups there. That's going to be gone. So don't worry about the confusing of the two videos. I'm going to get rid of that, and this one's the video of that. And overall, I love the live stream format of this. I'm going to try to keep doing it. I just have to remember to use my phone internet instead of the internet here because it seems to be working a lot better. But but yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like the videos, and have a good day.